Hello there, people in the internet world. I am Chuckles with Life's a Game with Chuckles. Thank you. Yes. Cut it. Anyways, today it's not gonna be a review today. It's gonna be a little countdown of my top 10 best fighting games of all times. And of course, this is my personal list, and this is my personal what I think is the best fighting games ever. So if you don't like it, go to eatmyass.com or suckmyballs.com. So, here we go. Number 10, Rage of the Dragons. Rage of Dragon, which came out in 2002 for the Neo Geo, MVS, and AVS system, was a sequel to the arcade hit Double Dragons, the fighting game. Now, you still play with Billy and Jimmy from the Double Dragon fame, but you also play with a bunch of other characters that they added to this game as well. What was so cool about this game is that you had two power gauge meters, one for one special and two for your tag special, because you got to pick two players at one time, which was a tag mode. When you have both gauges filled, you and your partner that you choose can do double the damage with super combos. It's a very great game. I recommend if you can find the emulator, get it, or if you're lucky enough to have the AVS system, buy it, because it is way worth it. Number 9, Waku Waku 7. Waku Waku 7, which came out in 1996 and was made by Sunsoft, first debuted on the Neo Geo arcade system, the MVS. This game was an instant classic as soon as it came out. It resembled an anime way before Guilty Gear ever came out, and I'm not very familiar with the characters, but I do remember having lots of fun playing this game. It does play like Street Fighter 2 and King of Fighters. You have your power gauges for hyper combos and super combos, and the game is just far out awesome. There's also a bonus character like Bonus Kung, which was a character of another fighting game called Galaxy Fight. He's a specialized character, and you can also get Fernandez, who was also the last boss, who looked like a fat bat with a big smile. He didn't look very Mexican to me at all. It came out for the Sega Saturn and the AVS system and the Virtual Console on the Wii. If you get your hands on it, it's a very fun game, and I really recommend it, so check it out. Number 8, the original Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat, which debuted in 1992. I mean, what can be said that has not been said about this game already? Everybody knows the original Mortal Kombat kicked ass. We never saw blood and heads being ripped out and hearts being ripped out, or even getting hit in the balls. We never even seen that. And because of this game, we have the rating we have now. So all you little kids that had to beg your mom and dad to buy yourself a game, we didn't have to worry about that until after this game came out. So yeah, I'm gonna keep this short and brief. It was made by Midway. You can find it on the Genesis, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, and practically every other gaming system out there. You can actually download it now on the arcade and PlayStation networks, and you can get all three. I think Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3. So if you have a chance to play it, even for you young guys, go and find that game. It's a classic. Number 7, Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 2, like Mortal Kombat, what's there to say about this game that hasn't been said? I mean, Street Fighter 2, if it wasn't for Street Fighter 2, there would be no fighting games, period. This was the grandfather, this was the great daddy of them all. Everybody knows how to do Ryu's and Ken's move. Everybody knows how to throw a fireball. Everybody knows how to do a hurricane kick, those cheap ass bastards. So yeah, I'm pretty sure you can get a hold of any Street Fighter 2, download Super Nintendo, Genesis, and you can just buy it, you know. Fuck it, you know what I'm talking about. Just get the damn game. Number 6, Mortal Kombat 2. Mortal Kombat 2, the arcade edition, which came out in 1993. Now this game was way far superior than Mortal Kombat 1. You had a lot more characters. You got to play with Shang Tsung, which was a boss in the first one, and a lot more fatalities, babalities. No, I think friendships didn't come out to part 3 or babalities. Yeah, Mortal Kombat 2 had 2 fatalities, hence part 2. Had a lot of cool moves, had a lot of cool characters. I mean, like I said, this game is the shit. You can find it anywhere. I mean, you can download it with Mortal Kombat 1 and 3. So this game is a freaking classic. So Mortal Kombat 2, you're my number 6, baby, for a reason. Oh, yes, good. Number 5, King of Fighters 98. King of Fighters 98 was debuted in 1998 in the Neo Geo MVS. There's been many King of Fighters games, but this one holds a particular in my heart. only for the fact that it had a bunch of great characters, so many different fighting styles, so many different moves. I mean, you can basically make any character you want and make them do whatever you want. It was just a great, well-balanced team game. So I really recommend, if you haven't never played King of Fighters, I recommend King of Fighters 98 because it's probably far best out of all the King of Fighters series so far. Let's hopefully the new King of Fighters that's coming out soon will be better.
Number 4, SNK vs. Capcom Chaos.
SNK vs. Capcom Chaos, which came out in 2003, and this was SNK's version of the Versus series. As you know, SNK and Capcom worked out a deal to make 2 games for each other, and SNK came out with Chaos. It was a very good game. It was kind of weird to see Street Fighter done in SNK sprites, but it's a pretty well balanced game in my opinion. You know, even though Akuma is very cheap in this game, and you do gotta watch out for the Akuma players because they'll just rape your ass. But I can dig it. I'm a big fan of SNK and I like their style, even though it looks very old with the sprites and everything, but it's still a very well balanced fun game in my opinion. It's one of my favorite fighting games ever on the Neo Geo console. So yeah, SNK vs. Capcom Chaos.
Number 3, Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition.
Super Street Fighter 4, the Arcade Edition, which came out in 2010. Now this is like the 3rd installment of Street Fighter 4, starting out with Street Fighter 4 and of course Super Street Fighter 4. If it wasn't for this game coming out, there would be no fighting games today in my opinion. This game has revitalized the fighting game genre in today's shooter and bullshit things you kids like to play nowadays. In my opinion, if it wasn't for Street Fighter 4, there would be no new Mortal Kombat. Which reminds me, are we ever gonna get Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat? Anyways, Street Fighter 4, I mean, I'm pretty sure you can get a hold of it anywhere. I mean, you have it for the Xbox 360 and the PS3 and the Nintendo 3DS. I don't know why it's not even come out on the Wii yet. I guess because the Wii can't handle it. Can't handle it. Awesomeness. Awesomeness. So get a hold of it. And you ever see me online, come and face my Zangief, bitches.
Number 2, Mortal Kombat, the Reboot Edition.
Mortal Kombat, the Reboot Edition, which came out in 2011, and everybody who's anybody about fighting game knows about this game. Mortal Kombat came back with a bitch slap in the face, bitches, because this game is the shit. It's slightly a little bit better than Street Fighter 4, but you know what? This game, there's so much you can do with it, with somebody and without anybody. You can play online against other guys who basically whoop your ass, and which makes you better in my opinion. So, and also there's a lot of great downloadable content. You can download Freddy Krueger, and how badass is that to have Freddy Krueger in a fucking Mortal Kombat game? That's fucking awesome. So yeah, Mortal Kombat, the Reboot Edition. If you haven't got it, get it now. It's the shit.
And last but not least, my number 1 fighting game of all times, Capcom vs. SNK 2.
Yeah, bitches, this is the fucking best fighting game in my opinion. This game is basically, in my opinion, a sequel to the Alpha series, but with added SNK players. Now, I know a lot of you guys who play online and play in the arcade do not like to use SNK players, but not me. My team has always been Joe Higashi, Terry Bogard, and Zangief. And if I don't use Zangief, I use Ryuji Yamazaki. This game is just so many grooves you can choose. You can use the grooves they have in Alpha and the grooves they have in basic Capcom fighting games, or the fucking K groove, which is like Samurai Showdown. Has a lot of great characters, and you don't have to stick with the Ryu and Ken. You can pick anybody. There's so many characters in this game. It's unbelievable. It came out for the Dreamcast in Japan. Came out for the PS2 and also came out for the Nintendo GameCube. So I recommend you go find this game and have it in your collection. It's a must. It's way better than Part 1 because Part 1 was a piece of shit in my opinion. It looked nice, but it didn't play nice. I guess Capcom got a hold of that one and made sure Part 2 was the shit.
And that's Chuckles' top 10 fighting games of all times. Like I said, this is my own personal list, so I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more videos coming soon.